In a quiet corner of the suburban town of Cedar Ridge, Oregon, lived a woman named Caroline Brooks. At 48, she wasn't one for noise or drama. All she wanted was a peaceful home to retreat to after decades of working in healthcare. Her two-story house, painted a soft beige with a red tile roof, stood out subtly in the neighborhood. But her pride and joy was in the backyard. A pristine, sapphire blue pool surrounded by cypress trees and blooming lavender bushes. Caroline wasn't close with her neighbors, but she was polite. A nod here, a smile there. She didn't need friends. She needed peace. But that peace began to unravel one Saturday afternoon. That day, Caroline had just returned from the grocery store when she noticed wet footprints trailing from the side gate to the sidewalk. A towel had been carelessly thrown over the fence, the lounge chair was out of place, and a half-finished soda can sat on the patio table. She froze. Someone had entered her backyard. Someone had swum in her pool. Her sanctuary had been violated. At first, she tried to be reasonable. Maybe it was just some local kids being careless. But then it happened again. A week later, she caught them in the act. A teenage boy and girl splashing in her pool like it was a public water park. When she confronted them, they ran without a word. Caroline took the high road. She walked to their house, hoping for an apology from the parents. Instead, she got indifference. "It's hot," the father shrugged. "They just wanted to cool off. No big deal." "You're overreacting," the mother added with a scoff. Caroline clenched her fists. She didn't want to fight, so she installed security cameras, changed the locks, and put up warning signs. But one day, coming home earlier than usual, she witnessed something that made her blood run cold. Her backyard had been turned into a gathering spot. The lounge chairs were taken over, a folding table was piled with snacks, beer cans were strewn about. In her pool were 4 adults and several kids, laughing and playing as if they were on vacation. One of them, a bleach-blonde woman named Tammy from the end of the street, who had never once greeted Caroline, waved and said, "Hey, it's scorching today, we figured you wouldn't mind." Caroline didn't yell. Her voice was calm and sharp. "Out, all of you." There were confused looks, a few murmurs, but eventually, they packed up and left. Tammy, just before stepping out, muttered, "Geez, lighten up. It's not like we broke anything." Caroline knew then, these people didn't understand boundaries. They didn't respect privacy. And if they wouldn't listen to words, she would make them understand through action. The next day, she went to the hardware store and bought industrial-grade padlocks. Then, she ordered a special pool chemical, completely safe but designed to tint the water bright green if someone urinated in it, a trick used by some public pools. But her boldest move? A sign. She drilled and mounted the sign on her fence, where everyone could see it. Warning: pool treated with special chemical. Unauthorized entry may cause skin irritation, rash, and temporary discoloration. Beside it, she placed an old chemical waste container, a bright orange drum with a hazard symbol, which she'd gotten from a friend in building maintenance. Then she waited. Not long after, the same teenage duo came by. They stopped, read the sign, stared at the toxic drum, and quietly turned around. That night, Tammy posted on the neighborhood Facebook group, "Pretty sure Caroline dumped something dangerous in her pool. Parents, be careful if your kids are nearby." The comments poured in. "Is that even legal? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. It's just a pool, she's being ridiculous." Caroline laughed aloud as she read them. They weren't angry they got caught. They were angry the free party was over. But it wasn't over just yet. On Thursday night, there was a knock, urgent, aggressive. Caroline looked through the peephole. Tammy, red-faced and fuming. She opened the door calmly. "Can I help you?" Tammy nearly shouted, "You can't just dump chemicals into your pool. What if some kid falls in?" Caroline smiled. "What kid? The one who climbs over my fence without permission." Tammy was momentarily speechless but pushed on. "You don't even have kids. That pool is going to waste." Caroline crossed her arms. "So you think that makes it public property?" The conversation ended with Tammy's bitter farewell. "Whatever. Enjoy your stupid pool. I'll use my own hose from now on. Caroline replied, clearly amused. Good. Everyone should use their own water. The next morning, Caroline installed motion-activated sprinklers. Anyone who dared sneak in would be met with a freezing surprise. But the beautiful thing, she never had to use them. No one ever came back. Caroline finally reclaimed what mattered most, her peace. And the neighborhood learned a valuable lesson. Boundaries only matter if you're willing to enforce them. What would you do if you were Caroline? Step back, or stand up for your space.